Alright, what is up, YouTube boxing family? It is I, K-Rod here. I'm back with another good video to share with you guys. I just wanted to give like my initial thoughts on Jaron Boots Ennis of his recent comments that he made towards Floyd Mayweather, giving him praise for his hard work and skills and abilities. I think honestly, like with like a guy like Boots, I think Jaron Ennis has proven himself to be high level, and I think it's only a matter of time till we see Jaron Ennis go on another rampage to do the things that we want him to do. And I think Floyd Mayweather understands that there's not that many fighters that are game bred like him, that have similar outputs of what young Floyd Mayweather had done. Oh, and also shout out to everybody that is, gave me a crap load of views on my channel. I have now hit over 2 million views on the channel. I just want to say thank you to you guys that came through, and I'm gonna just continue to just keep on growing, because I know eventually once I get that monetization button and just keep grinding, everything is there. Take a look at this. I'm like, dude, I'm just popping off, man. I'm just doing everything right. Oh shit, Devin Haney is 226,000 views. Oh my god, dude, that blew up. Dude, I literally checked like a couple days ago. I was at like 160 plus thousand, and that shit just skyrocketed. Bruh, Devin Haney, you are a monster, dude. Like, I respect the living crap out of Devin, man. Shout out to Devin Haney, and shout out to Bill Haney, and just shout out to everybody, man. Thank you guys for giving me free views, because it's definitely gonna blow up like my channel, and then once I keep making other videos on top of it, it's just gonna keep on rising. So I appreciate it. But yeah, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about Jaron Boots Ennis. In regards of what Floyd Mayweather had said about him. I think it's only a matter of time to see what Jaron Ennis will do in the near future. I think Boots, he's a very, very good talent. I don't think anybody's really going to beat him anytime soon. I don't think he's super duper unbeatable. I think there's very few but rare competition out there that could actually defeat him one day, but I think that's I think that's neither here nor there. And I think Jaron Ennis, he's just going to continue to just keep getting better, and I think the only thing that would ever defeat Jaron Ennis is that he's not the same fighter as he once was, and he gets out of his peak, out of his prime, and he's not, the same game-bred fighter to, to do the things that he was physically able to do. And I think that's going to probably be kicking into the near future when his wear and tear starts to kick in, and then we won't see the progression of Jaron Boots Ennis's career go up to a higher level. So I think Boots, he's gonna be up there. He just needs to just keep calling for the big names and keep taking out whoever's gonna be put in front of him, because obviously Showtime and the PBC, they're willing to do whatever's necessary to give him all the top quality competition. But then again, tomorrow isn't promised, and whatever happens outside of boxing, that's another big thing that Jaron Ennis needs to worry about. That some of these big names could very well be gone. I don't think Keith Thurman's going to be staying in boxing for that much long. I don't know what's going to happen with Keith Thurman, but I think Keith Thurman is a great fight, great style matchup, and I think a lot of people should really put a lot of respect on Keith Thurman's name. I obviously had disrespected him in the past because I called Keith Thurman, Paulie Malignaggi 2.0, because I thought at one point in time Keith Thurman got Paulie Malignaggi hands in which that's pretty much just like a knock on Keith Thurman's punching power to say that, like, to say that he can't be knocking like anybody out. But that's obviously not true. Keith Thurman, he does have power, but I think what the problem is that due to his hand injuries that he's had in the past, he's not like the same Keith Thurman as we once saw in the past, where he was blowing dudes out with just like a single jab, and he had really, really good punch placement and amazing power, precision to do the things that he wanted to do to be successful. And I think that's something that Keith Thurman knows what he has to do in order to be at that level. So I truly believe Keith Thurman, he will be there in the future, but I think it's not going to be there for too long. He's 33 years old, heading into 34, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know what Keith Thurman's going to be doing, because he hasn't been in the ring since February. So I mean, fast forward into June, we don't know what Keith Thurman's going to be doing. And I would like to see Keith Thurman back in the ring as soon as possible. I'd say as early as to August or maybe September, because that's what Keith Thurman said he wanted to do. He actually said he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford in July, but obviously that wasn't going to happen, because Terrence Crawford, he was going to fight Sean Porter that following November, in which that was like a good time frame. But then on top of that, Keith Thurman obviously said that if Terrence Crawford wasn't on the table, then he'll just focus on somebody else. And I think honestly that the best fight for Jaron Ennis is to try to go after Amanta Stanionis, because if he can't get Stanionis, then I don't know what's gonna happen. I think he's gonna have to stay busy. And even though that he just beat Custillo Clayton for the IBF title eliminator, in which that should put him in place to be the mandatory for the IBF title, i.e. Errol Spence holds that title. I don't know what's going to happen, because we obviously still need to hear back from Terrence Crawford's side of the street of what he's going to be doing with having this fight finalized and set and made with Errol Spence. But obviously there's more there's more bullshit that needs to be exposed out of that, which I will make a video directly towards Terrence Crawford to expose him for being a liar, to say that he wants 25 to $30+ million to fight Errol Spence, but he's trying to say that he never got the contract and all this nonsensical bullshit. And I gotta call him out. I have to be very disrespectful once again to all you Bud Dick riders that will watch that video in the near future. But I'm just gonna sit here and say that in regards to Jaron Ennis, he's gonna be taking over the welterweight division very, very soon. And I would not like to see Jaron Ennis fight Errol Spence at 147. I would like for Jaron Ennis to focus on his business at 147 for a good while, get his belts, try to go for undisputed or at least be unified, and then go up to 154. Because if you fight Errol Spence, especially for a guy like Jaron Ennis to fight for his very, very first world title opportunity against a killer like EJ, because Errol Spence, he's no joke. He's already proven to the world that he is one of the most deadliest southpaw fighters in the world. And y'all know how I am about how I view southpaws. I personally think southpaws run boxing, and surprisingly that's true, because boxing is literally literally on fire with southpaws. Southpaws are like a Mortal Kombat nightmare style matchup that not a lot of fighters can figure out, and it's like a puzzle system where a lot of fighters usually end up breaking to a southpaw's will. But for Errol Spence, he's not like your typical southpaw, where to me, how I view my southpaws, there's certain levels to this game, obviously, But how I see it with southpaws, there's different archetypes of a southpaw. There's a southpaw that's like a decent level amateur style type of southpaw. Those southpaws are like Vasil high tech Lomachenko. He uses his amateur style to poise it as a professional style, but that's not really costly effective. So those are like the low level southpaws that obviously most fighters can usually handle, because of the southpaws are not really deadly with their jab, and they're also not good with like their defensive reads too. But when you're like a high level southpaw, in which I would view Jaron Ennis as a southpaw, so I would say honestly, he chooses to fight righty only for the sake of him fooling his opponents to think that he's an orthodox fighter, when he goes back to southpaw and he's naturally dormant as a southpaw. So that's a good case to show that Jaron Ennis is a very, very smart, multi-adaptive, thinking, breeded fighter. He doesn't let you come to him. He comes to you, and he re-emulates what you do, and he just breaks you down like calculated. He does it like he's a robot mixed with like a cellular implant that multiplies the amount of knowledge that you carry. And he's like, I don't know, man. Like, honestly, if you could put him in any video game, I would say he's like the combination of Rain with Smoke and Ermac in Mortal Kombat. But I would say, honestly, he's Rain and Smoke. Errol Spence is Ermac and Smoke. Jaron Ennis is Rain and Smoke mixed with Taven. That's how dangerous Jaron Ennis is. He's like a messed up version of Errol Spence with the Terrence Crawford, and he has such a very, very imitated style of like a James Toney with a Roy Jones. But I don't like to go too far with that, because Roy Jones and James Toney are two different proteges, and their breeds of how they fight are way different compared to Boots. But Boots is definitely the combination of Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, because it's like looking at like a mini Marvin Hagler that's athletic, that's very versatile, and he does not miss his shots. You don't ever see Jaron Ennis miss an accurate shot. 9 times out of 10, he's hitting you. He's not missing. Like, he's able to land his shots flush, and you're not able to hit him. That just speaks a lot of volume how dangerous Jaron Ennis' skill set is. And I'm not even overhyping him, because it's really not overhype. Overhype would be like, if I didn't believe this fighter was good, but yet I'm still going to overhype them, then that's something that's wrong with me mentally, to say that fighter, he's so good or she's so good, but then when they get blown out by some dude, or they get exposed by somebody that's not even that good, at a low level competition, then that's a definition of a hype job fighter. But with Jaron Ennis, he's not like that. His skills show that he is not supposed to be in the ring with low level competition. His skills are made as if he's a veteran being viewed as a low level rookie. And to me, I find that to be very disrespectful, because it's like Jaron Ennis, he's been fighting in the pros since he was like 18 years old or 19 years old. He's been in the pros since he was a teenager. That's like literally similar to Canelo Alvarez, but that's like a young Errol Spence. Like coming into the pros younger, and he's whipping on everybody in the pros. You cannot tell me that no man by like 22, 23 years old has like 24 or 23 plus fights in. Not a lot of guys have that. Like, most guys in their early 20s, if they came into boxing within 2 to 3 years in the pros, most of them usually have like a 10-0 record or 14-0 record. But for Jaron Ennis to have like 20 plus wins under his belt, and people still call him a quote-unquote prospect, which I don't believe in prospects. I believe in professionals and amateurs. And how I view low-level fighters is just that, I just call them rookies, because that's really what they are. They're a rookie before they graduate to being a sophomore, and then they go into that senior level. And I would just basically call it the advanced veteran level, or veteran level competition, skill set. But I would say Jaron Ennis, he's learning on the job very, very fast, and he's not afraid of taking a big risk in fighting anybody like anybody out of the top 10 in boxing. And I mean, for Floyd Mayweather to give him props, I find that to be very, strange. I think that the reason why Jaron Ennis is being praised is because Showtime and the PBC, they're trying to find a brand new star. And I think after Deontay Wilder had left boxing, to which we don't even know if he's really coming back, but I think what the thing is that the only Black American talents that people can cling on to that would be sellable and marketable to any viewing audience would be obviously Errol Spence, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Tank Davis, who else? Jermell Charlo, and then I would probably say maybe Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman, he can easily sell. Adrian Broner, same thing. I don't know. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I mean, there's like so many opportunities that a lot of these Black American fighters can thrive off of. But in the case of Jaron Ennis, it seems like Showtime and the PBC, they're trying so hard to marketize another Floyd Mayweather type fighter, but they're trying to use him as like another Roy Jones in the build up. But I think Jaron Ennis doesn't care about what the political machine of what Showtime and PBC is trying to do, because he's working extremely hard in the gym, and he's not letting let the glitz and glamour and the fame get to him, because he still has a job to do, and he has so much more to think about outside of his boxing, where he's more focused on what he needs to provide for his family. And I think for him to have his father by his side and have a good team behind him, that's something to be very proud of, if you're thinking like a fighter like Jaron Ennis. And I think Jaron Ennis has shown to the boxing world that he has everything that's needed to be a world championship level fighter. But the thing about Jaron Ennis is just that he he's literally on that Errol Spence path. He's going through all the difficult routes possible to try to be up there, to be undisputed, and to gain multiple titles in multiple divisions. And I think Jaron Ennis, he could very well be undisputed in 4+ weight classes. The only problem is just that he needs to get these fights. And I think the biggest issue that he's going to have to deal with is trying to make those fights at 154 and 160, and I would say 168. Obviously, the business politics is going to screw everything up. But if Jaron is able to not have all these promotional blocks in the way to make these big fights, then I think Jaron he's gonna make some noise, man. I'm definitely looking forward to watching him fight. I think Jaron Ennis has proven himself to be battle tested and battle ready. He just needs to he just needs to go in there and show it to the world. See, now, as far as the names that people want to see him fight, I think Keith Thurman is definitely the biggest name on his hit list that he needs to go after. I wouldn't mind a fight with who was that other fighter? Definitely Stanionis. I've already said him, but I'm trying to think about Rashidi Ellis. Rashidi Ellis, he's been talking some smack, saying that he would beat Boots, he would dominate him. I think that's a very, very good fight to be made for the future. I think Rashidi Ellis poses a very dangerous task for Jaron Ennis to fight, but I think that's a very, very good fight. We obviously have to see what he's gonna do after his fight with his opponent. Hopefully he wins, because that's a very, very, questionable test, and I think that's gonna be a very interesting. Yeah, that's gonna be a very interesting fight. And then obviously, some other names that I want to see him fight. I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, like I heard, your Dennis Ugas. He said he made mention of Jaron Ennis, but I don't think Ugas should really fight Jaron, because I think that's a very dangerous, risky matchup where you just came off of like a very, dangerous fight with Errol Spence, and for you to just, go right back in there with a guy like Boots. I don't think that's a good move for Ugas, but if he's built like that and he wants tough fights, for him to be, more battle tested and battle fitted, for him to build more in his skills, then I mean, by all means, go for it, but make sure that you have a crap load of time to get ready, because I don't think Ugas is gonna be fully healed up to fight again. I probably say leading into, I probably say about the next year, or hopefully by the end of the year. I think Ugas will be more fit to fight by the end of the year, because that makes a lot more sense, especially on Ugas's point of view, for him to return back to boxing. But I don't really think Ugas, he really wants to come back to boxing. I think Errol Spence took something out of him mentally and physically, and I don't think that's a very, very good fight for Ugas to really feel the same way. But then again, that's all subject to change. I say there's other good fights that Jaron Ennis can go for. Oh man, I mean, honestly, man, I really don't know what other names I could think of, but I wouldn't mind a fight with Jamal James, in which I think Jamal James would be a good route for Boots. But I mean, if that's not going to be the case, and I mean, if he just wants to stay busy by fighting somebody that's at least ranked, somewhat high in his sanction body that he's trying to go for the belt, especially through the IBF. I wouldn't mind Jaron fighting Cody Crowley. I think Jaron Ennis would fold, a guy like Cody Crowley. I think Cody would be pretty much food for any top level welterweight fighter. Or honestly, I wouldn't mind a fight with David Avanesian. I think Avanesian would be a good fight. I don't think Conor Benn's gonna fight Jaron Ennis. I don't ever see that fight happening. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think Boots, he has such a high ceiling to get himself up there, by time when Errol leaves, 147. But I don't know what's gonna happen between Errol and Crawford, because if that fight does get made, and let's just say Errol, he washes Bud and then he moves up to 154, and let's just say if they want to rematch at 154, I mean, that's perfectly fine. I wouldn't mind that, because that opens up the doors for the whole division to be wide open, and I think that's a good move for Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. But that's all subject to change, because we really don't know if this fight's actually going to happen. I would say, as far as what's been going on with the state of the welterweight division, I think Jaron Ennis just needs to stay busy, and I think eventually his shine will come, because he's only 24 years old, heading into 25. So I think Boots, he's already there. He just needs to get his opportunity locked in, because I can easily see him blow out divisions very quickly, where he could be back in the ring very soon. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think Jaron Ennis, he's more than ready to unify divisions and get up there. but I just like to see it now rather than seeing it later. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Jaron Boots on Us. Shout out to him and his father Bozy, and I guess like the rest of the family out of the Boots family or Ennis family. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Shout out to Philadelphia. You know, all the Philadelphia fighters out there, Cool Boy, Jaron, everybody, man. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'll keep you guys updated with more content. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Salute to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out. Peace out and goodbye.